Why did you go to hell? Because you did not achieve your baptism, your Holy Spirit purification, but you achieved your total contamination, and total contamination takes you to hell. So over here I have said, point is, grasping reduces the value to 1 to 9 only. Since sunyata is the zero increase, sunyata of non-grasping doesn't allow grasping, as the zero can't be grasped. Grasping zero is ignorance and an error to believe you can hold on to it. So when the mark of the beast is grasping everything, you cannot actually grasp the zero. Because if sunyata here is revealed as the zero, sunyata's number is the zero, how can you grasp zero? How can you say, I went to work and earned $0, or I'm going to the shop and going to buy food with $0? Like, there's no concept. Like, the zero concept is not used. The zero is only used in conjunction to other things. So you can't really grasp the zero. So you can say the zero on itself doesn't exist. The zero on itself is like, you cannot use it, but zero is used in conjunction with other numbers. So you cannot actually hold on to the zero. You cannot actually grasp the zero. So if you're trying to be like, I'm going to come down here and be a tyrant and own everything, you are actually grasping, and zero can't be grasped. So if you're like, I'm going to come down here and own the whole world and own everything, your value automatically reduces from 1 to 9. The zero flees. The zero is gone. It just like, it doesn't stay around because you're grasping. As soon as you grasp, the zero goes away. It's like tata bye bye. It goes away. So you cannot grasp the zero. So as soon as you grasp, the value goes down from 1 to 9. And that's what you're dealing with in the mark of the beast. When they promise you everything, to give you everything, you're only getting that 1 to 9. The real deal is here. The game changer is 0. Without that, you cannot have the next level. You're stuck in the lowest of the lowest. When you do not have sunyata, you're stuck in the lowest of the lowest. Sunyata of non-grasping doesn't allow grasping, as zero can't be grasped. You cannot grasp zero. Grasping zero is ignorance, so you can't really grasp zero. So if you think, oh, I'm going to come down here and own the entirety of the human race, it doesn't work because you actually cannot grasp zero. As soon as you grasp it, the value reduces, and it actually protects us, because it's like when they try and take stuff away from humanity, when the fallen angels come here and start taking all our resources, our money, and taking everything away from us, our home, our food, our textile, everything, and they own everything. They take everything, oil, air, water, electricity, everything they take away from us and make it very expensive, and do the monopoly with all our human and earth resources, and they try to own our body and own our identity with the mark of the beast. Is not much. It's only to 1 to 9. So even the people that go to hell are like for the very low dumb people, because they cannot see sunyata. They're negative. They cannot polarize to sunyata. They cannot see sunyata. They cannot perceive sunyata. So even if the people that get the mark, they're actually very dumb people. So they're only getting like that 1 to 9 kind of level, 1 to 9 kind of mindset people that are believing in their technology stuff, that aren't able to perceive the higher knowledge, the next knowledge. And sunyata is also like the other shore, so they cannot perceive the other shore, the other side that we are trying to relay and we are trying to give testimony for and show you that this is where you want to be and this is the higher value. But obviously like it doesn't look as the higher value because it's just zero. It's like, how can you tell me zero is bigger than 9? But I've given you the evidence here how zero is better than 9. So on the surface this looks like not much. It's just like, oh, it's just a zero. But then this is the game changer because it adds value to every number. It increases immediately. So do you want to have your $1 over here, this will give you $1, or do you want to have your $10, $100, $1,000, or $10,000? Do you want to be in sunyata, or do you want your $1, $2, $3, $4, that linear trajectory, or do you want this jump? So that's why on the surface sunyata looks like just 0, but it's actually more valuable than the 129 or the 666, because it has the increased capacity and it makes everything jump in value. So that's why this requires some level of spiritual penetration, and you cannot just have it, and you cannot just because most people would automatically reject the sunyata, and they'll be like, oh, that's 0, we don't want 0. Most people would automatically reject it. But if you open up sunyata, and if you do this kind of study and you open up the 0 and to see what it really means, then you'll be like, ah, we want sunyata. That's why these things are not revealed openly to anyone and everyone, because people will only chase after this out of greed and money, and they'll start worshipping sunyata. Oh, give us $10,000, give us $100 million. They'll start worshipping it for that, and that's grasping, and sunyata will flee from you. Over here it says, so what is the worth of the mark 666 everything? So what's the worth? 1 to 9 only. So you only get 1 to 9. And Satan's name in the Hebrew scriptures is also called Belial, and Belial directly translates to worthless. So these things are literal. So Satan, that's doing the mark of the beast, Satan, that's doing this, is actually worthless. Their value is only up to 1 to 9. It's actually worthless. It literally says in the scriptures, and it can be proven through this math. Without sunyata, 0, the real value is only 1 to 9 single digits. To double that, you need 0. Who paid in full for everyone, dark and light? Yeshua, Son of God, Christ's blood, manna of Christ. So this manna of Christ, you can see it in the book of Revelation. Read it there. So Yeshua, Son of God, paid for everyone. So if their value is only that, they aren't able to do much with that value. But actually Christ, Son of God, came down here in his first coming, and with his blood he paid for everyone, dark and light. So not just light, but he paid for everyone. Why? Because nothing is free. We live in a spiritual world. So you can't just come here and be like, oh, I'm just going to come down to earth and just take everything from humans away. I'm going to take their food away. I'm going to make food expensive, water expensive. I'm going to make the housing extremely expensive. I'm going to make schooling extremely expensive, learning extremely expensive, and take everything away and make them pay for everything. Take everything away and make them buy back everything that was free and given to them for free. So you can't just do that. You can't, because nothing is for free. Nothing is for free. So you can't do that. So Christ has done the back end of the work. So Christ came and actually settled the entire account of all that mess, that stealing and lying and all of that, that the dark have played against the light, all the things that they have done to us or done on this earth, and everything that they have stolen and taken away from us. You can't just do that. You actually have to solve it. Those things are very deadly. These are spiritual things. They're very deadly things. You cannot mess with humanity or this earth or spirituality or God's system, God's rule, God's law. If God said, do not cheat against the human beings, do not take away their food and shelter, look after them. If Christ and Father is saying that, and if you do that to us, you come down here and you steal everything and take everything away from us, it's not a thing. Actually, someone has to come down here and clean that up and pay everything. So Christ actually paid with his blood and settled the accounts for everything. So everything that we are seeing now is just a spiritual method to give revelation of what the dark are really about, and how greedy they are, and how nasty and disgusting they are, and how they continuously want to hold on to everything and steal and rob everything and make everything more expensive and more expensive and more expensive, and take food and shelter away from children and people, um, and make you work for apples and bananas, and make you work for a tiny house, and make you take a huge debt and be part of the debt slavery, especially in the Western world. So that's what the dark are doing, and Father is giving total revelation of the true nature of the dark. But Christ on the back end has already solved that and paid everything in full for with his own blood. And that's what he did, because it's a spiritual world, and you can't have a mess of debt. You can't have a mess of like incorrect transactions and do whatever you want and make everything like totally retarded and totally like fraudulent, and the accounts are all over the place and no one's taking care of it, and it's a big mess, and everyone's robbing and everyone's stealing and everyone's greedy and everyone's hungry, and some are extremely rich and some are extremely poor. You can't do that. That's like spiritually inaccurate. That's spiritually dangerous. So someone actually has to come and clean up that account, which Christ did and paid with his own blood. Sunyata is infinity, as zero keeps increasing without limit. So sunyata is infinity as it is zero. Mark of the beast equals everything of this world. So it's the 1 to 9 limit. So everything of this world, not sunyata, which is the other shore. So everything of this world, the limit. But sunyata stands as everything of everything. So it's everything of everything. So it cannot be described, but at the same time it can be described. It's zero, it has no value, but at the same time it adds value to everything. So that's the characteristics of sunyata. And you're stuck in this temporary dualistic reality, and you work so hard for apples and bananas because you do not realize sunyata, or you did not realize sunyata. You did not realize the everything of everything, and you only realized the everything of this world, and you were stuck in the limit. You did not realize the zero that adds infinite value. And it's not just money and resources, but also spiritually. Like, for example, in the new age, we actually will not die. We will actually live for like thousands of years. Why? Because we got purified with sunyata. We are not stuck in this, we are not of this world anymore. We are not stuck in that 1 to 9 age limit. Like you only live for 100 years or less. We are not stuck in that. We have realized sunyata, and we have attained a purification. Now we live for like thousands of years. So as long as we need to live, we live without aging, we live without greed, we live without poverty, without diseases, without worry. We live in without crime, without theft. We live in that world because of sunyata, because of our purification, and that's how important it is. And it also adds to your age, that you do not die. Like Christ, when he's going to rule for 1,000 years, we are going to live for 1,000 years. So imagine that. And that happens because of sunyata. And with the mark of the beast, you age and you die and you go to hell, and you could go live there forever. When you have the zero and you add value, it also adds value to your life, and it also adds value to your age, your health, your well-being, and it just adds value to everything and everyone around us. And we have the spiritual layer, that is sunyata. We are not greedy, we're not angry, we don't hurt other people, because we have realized sunyata, and we know everything is the same. We know everyone is equal. We know there is no dharma. We know that there is no religion. There's no culture. There's no ethnicity. There's no discrimination. There's no gender discrimination. There's no caste discrimination. There is no racial discrimination. There's no skin color discrimination. We know everything is sunyata. We know everything is zero. So this solves everything. Sunyata solves everything. This one is very interesting for me, and it's funny, because you have the 666 in Nepalese, it directly translates to cha, which means yes, there is. So the word cha, which is written like this, translates to yes. There is, yes. There is. And then the opposite for that is China, which is there isn't. There isn't, which is zero. So it's like in Nepalese, it's like you can say cha cha cha, which means there is, there is, there is. And then you can say China, which is like no, no, no. And some if people say cha cha cha, it's like there is, there is, there is 666, because cha directly translates to six. So six and there is, there is, there is people keep saying that, oh, there is, this reality is real, it's true, it's real, it's real. Cha 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 666. And but you have to say China, China, China. You have to say 0000 Sunita, Sunita, Sunita. So you can have fun with that for Nepalese people. It's translated much better. Cha cha cha, China, China, China. So you have to say China, China, China. Cha 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 is actually what? 666. Cha is an illusion, so it's actually 666. Yes, yes, yes. There is the mark of the beast. You're talking about the mark 666. It's like cha cha cha, mark 666. Sunita's selling it China. No, mark 66. Cha 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 is mark 666. Be careful with the cha cha cha. Actually, it's China. There's nothing. It's zero. So you have to go into zero. So you can see the obvious two polarities here. You have the direct heaven and hell. You have the Sunyata's number that is being revealed here as zero, and mark of the beast 666. And Sunyata is the purification, mark of the beast is the contamination. Without Sunyata, you cannot go to heaven, and with the mark of the beast, you go to hell. And with Sunyata, you go to heaven. And Sunyata adds value to everything, and you cannot grasp Sunyata. And the mark of the beast is actually the method and ground, the ground of Buddha, the method, our Father in heaven, that has allowed this ground of the mark of the beast to actually realize Sunyata. So this method is for wisdom, to realize wisdom. So that's what you have to understand. And it's beautiful. You have to look at it that way. And you can understand this crazy thing that is this mark. And it's going to funnel everything into that RFID. And it's going to put it in your body. So it's going to funnel everything in there. And some might be like, oh, it's so cool. This technology is giving me everything. But then you, with this everything, you can go straight to hell. And you can just burn there, because what is Sunyata telling you? It doesn't exist. China, it doesn't exist. Sunyata is telling you zero. Don't hold everything inside of you. Don't take everything inside of you. That's contamination. China, it's not there. It's zero. It's Sunyata. It's empty. Do not do this. Do not do this, because it's incorrect. So as soon as the mark will be like, hey guys, do you want the whole world in your arms? Do you want the whole world in your hands? Which is the RFID chip. It's so cool, like this great advanced technology. But actually, Sunyata will be like, no, 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 no. Don't do that. It's empty. You cannot grasp. You cannot hold on to anything. It doesn't exist. It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. And only through emptiness, only through Sunyata, this baptism of Sunyata, the baptism of the Holy Spirit, you will actually go to heaven. As soon as you grasp, that will take you straight to hell. And this one has already been written in the book of Revelation. Those who get the mark and those who worship the image of the beast will burn in hell. And it's a great sin, because it's a great contamination, because you went 100% against Sunyata. Before we had some ground that we were like, Sunyata's like, okay, not everything has been grasped. People still have some aspect of Sunyata still existing. But now, with the mark of the beast, you went 100% against Sunyata. And you left nothing. You put everything in this RFID chip, and you left nothing. You put everything. You grasped everything. And you left no ground for Sunyata. You totally retarded yourself, and you directly took yourself to hell.